Alright, guys. I'm here. Obviously, it's not my best morning or my best day. Um, it's been a rough night. Throughout all of these years, I've faced many of those and not said a word. Did not sleep well, and y'all know I'm not much of a sleeper anyway. So what little I do get matters. But I'm ever so tired throughout all of these years of being informed continually, and not just, I wouldn't say necessarily informed, but knowing no matter one way or the other how it's done that our abuser, the abuser of my children, continues to be a very real online presence, a threat, using this platform as he has for years, along with the creators around Summers and others, to not only cash in on, but for them to attempt to silence, screw, and tamper with Summers' case, and for him to cash in on, act like flip script victim, all these things, and to continue to abuse us via all of you all in the world, and to be creating a real environment still of threat and harm to us. Though, now, not in the same household. Just a quarter mile or so apart, though, right? Y'all have watched it for years. We've tolerated, even with many orders of protection in place throughout all of these years. Continues to be allowed. We do not count until we end up in fucking body bags. I don't suppose. But I'm tired of often his image or him online being the last things we see. And by we, still mean the children, And, though he's got claws on one, he does not the other. And it affecting our lives in real time. His presence here locally and this close and online 24 hours a day is not fun for us. The shenanigans he and all of his tragedy pit crew get up to online and to target us is not fun for us. Last night, had a really good evening with Little. Most of the day together. We are already aware of the other video drop with Ryan and his favorite abuser of women and children, Andy B over there, whom Ryan has helped further abuse and target the survivors and attempted survivors of this man with to get access to properties and do all these other things. And with this group for years to help not only our monster, but him, his wife, and our imaginary magical spirits for his need for fame. While he's obviously a whole ass con. Many of y'all know that. He's a fraud, bullshit, he's built, there's proof and evidence of it. Everything about this dude's a whole lie. Just about. He'll use anything for a step up about like any other. Including helping a known and admitted and proven child and woman abuser. Further abuse, target, harm those who still attempt to survive. That's what Ryan will find himself to in order to keep stepping up. I had a fairly good evening and day yesterday with Little. We did all the things. And then last night, here's another video drop featuring abuser. Cleanse him one more. Do whatever. Tell him my hair looking like some hero of women and children. The missing. We all know better. Many of the creators know better. Many of y'all heard from the beginning. It's no different than Marlena and Fred, and all they wanted was money, and they didn't give it to actually me. I don't know where Marlena and Fred are as family members there, but you know, I know for him, many have heard him say he didn't give a shit about Summer. All he wanted was money. I hold audio of things like that. Proof of it as well. So do others. Even recently as but last night, I and Little both went to sleep knowing that here he is again, being lifted up again, out looking for but it's even worse this time. He's out here looking for Layla. And y'all know I don't speak on these other cases. And I do not want Summers crossed over anymore. Or at all. In any of their cases. And I do not want to speak on their cases. I will call out the tragedy pimps and the shenanigans around them. And though we know people in Layla's and things about, I do not open my mouth online so the world can make a mess of it. I do not want Monster and his domestic violence, him being a monster, mixed into yet another case. But this to me and Little, this man who abused my children and myself in ways you all still cannot fucking fathom or imagine. And I've only ever shown you all some of the pictures, some of the audio. Not all of them, not anywhere near the mountains. But y'all have seen some of the more horrendous breasts and chest beaten so fucking badly and thoroughly I had to wait months for bruising to fade, so I had to have surgeries and removals. The damage, my face split open at the skull to the bone, strangled. God, how often did he? My children beaten on their birthdays, other things. Gosh, he loves dates, I'll tell you, don't he? Oh, it was tormented, tortured, all of their lives, almost. Damn near most of mine by this man and by his family. They make everything dip hard, don't they? Still can't find an excuse online for why this man is admitted to beating and laying hands on our children, though, can you? But to know that DV and other things play roles in Layla's and the other girls at the marble slab in Layla's, and to have this man, this monster out pretending to care, to look for Layla with Ryan, who knows what Andy is. The world knows what Andy is. You all have seen for years. And it was fun to help him and these others torment us to death with him as him and his little helpmate abused us from real life on YouTube. And then these people used it to target, to try to silence us for calling them out what they were doing in Summer's case. They helped him tamper with courts, judges, flip scripts, so there was no justice seen, no protection. And Little and I were actually put further on, targeted further, bullied, terrorized. Still yet it continues. As Ryan, Jenny, Adrian, etc. continue throughout all of these cases across Tennessee. Some of these families unaware of what they are and what they've done. But I have proof of what they have done and what they are doing in many, along with Prayer Garden. Other family members and dope heads in and around Fred Martley and Andy's way. Oh, and all of these. But last night I couldn't sleep. Nightmares. That monster. Sweats. Finally gave up on sleep. Hours ago. Got up. Wandered around outside a bit. In the dark. Trying to find peace. Trying to be okay. So me speaking. Because that's where it's at, right? As his tragedy pit friends are both ending on him. Eating one direction and another. As his other people at Marlene and everybody else are here trying to make him look certain ways. The scripting is taking place for all these years. As I try to do. what's right, which is not lay anything on him that doesn't belong on him, and fight to keep him safe from their scripting and their nonsense that all these tragedy pimps and those around the world have had since summer vanished. And they all got the alerts. It's one hell of a place to be in most days. And the other day I let it be. Man, right now they just want him to look worse and worse, especially with what Marlene and the rest are doing, and I don't want to help that along. But he is what he is. And there's proof out here for it. So words, pictures, photos, him admitting to it online, and you all still act like something was mutual or I was just a bitch, I deserved it. And you can do that all you want. But my children did not, and they faced lifetimes of what this man has done, still continues to do. I hope one day the one comes to full awareness. But the other, my little, there will never be claws anywhere back near that one. I can promise you that. Over my dead body. I can promise you, because of what little has witnessed these creators and Andy doing live for years and made her look kinds of ways in Summer's case and targeted her because he's still mad at her. And she won't give in and she tells too much truth and all these lies. I can promise you, as it stands right now, little eyes know. No days upon seeing her for the rest of her days on this earth. Not about it, bet you since. About bet you she never reaches out or seeks him. But you've heard her even recently stand for him. Though that hurt her too, just like it does me. Because we will stand where truth matters and right matters. Not necessarily for him, but for some. And so these tragedy pips can't continue. But he has taken every second of his time online with these creators for all of these years, while fading into courts even that he was not. Everybody else is the big bad guy speaking out about domestic violence, his roles in all these things. Playing innocent, having these tragedy pimps like Ryan and others and everybody else do all the dirty work, helping him tamper with every form of everything they can find. And we've done it, and we've got proof of it. There's been ample out here in the public in front of you all that we've provided. You all know this to be true, and you've seen it play out over the years. But I'm absolutely tired of the nightmares. But I think the reason they were so bad last night and this morning were because the last things I see is an image of our monster helping search for a young mother who was also surrounded by a situation with a boyfriend and his family. And it's up to her family and others to speak on. But her case also features another mistaken person, but looks similar, but left in certain situations at Marble Slab because of domestic violence. This man who tried to murder my children and I regularly, not once in all the decades, but over and over and over and over again. For decades, this man tried to murder us with that intent, while screaming at us, while strangling me, while beating me in ways you cannot imagine, while harming my children. Guns to my head, strangled, suffocated, bats, weapons, all right. He was sitting calling my children the worst names on earth, laying hands on them. And y'all have seen the messages. Y'all have heard him say, you've heard him and seen him get caught trying to make all these events one, and then finally me coming out and breaking those down with proof because I knew what he'd do. But watching Ryan continue to take him out looking for Summer, who I know that this monster didn't care a shit about, who used Summer Vanish in his way to further abuse and traumatize my children and I, who were already traumatized and hurt and worried enough as he slept fine and his little helpmate over there, and they all used it just to continue to hurt and bother us as forms of abuse and to lay out groundwork for the discard, all these other things to happen weeks after Summer vanished, months, and still yet, knowing this man, I was wearing bruises from the day Summer vanished. New doses of radiation in, this and the other. This man who beat me before my surgery, I couldn't even eat the night before, knowing that I may not wake up from this. It was a very good possibility. And he targeted especially the cystic masses combined with the solids, hoping to rupture it. I remember it like yesterday. Right up here in front of Eastman. The red lights. remember just fine. I have to explain to my surgeon a few hours later in the morning when I went in why the bruising in this ear and try to explain it away. Knowing why things on those last scans may have changed, or my surgery was different, it will end up being that I was told I would be muted for the rest of my life suddenly. But it turns out I woke up, and because of beautiful human beings and a beautiful surgeon and my team, they were able to save this little bit for me. Thank God. It may no longer reach octaves to scream out for help if I ever need it, but it works enough. Speak where I can. And to at least call out domestic violence. And what he's still doing and how sick it is. I'm hoping today, and I did not want to do this, you all know how I feel about the other cases and other people. But I am today going to ask Jennifer if she hears or sees this. I know that they approve of or at least give consent to or talk to Ryan. I guess that's their right. But I would ask that she please ask him to stop having a man who is a known, admitted, proven child and woman abuser online to help further torment those who survive and try to fight him and speak out against domestic violence so no other women and children end up in body bags or make it out in time. That with the roles domestic violence and things seem to play in so many of these cases here, including Summer's life, ours, and others. And that I would just ask that she ask Ryan to stop having a known, admitted, proven child and woman abuser look for her daughter. So that the people like Ryan he's been around with for years can stop helping him look like some hero or a carer of women, children, the missing, the murdered, the vanished, because he is not. And if Jennifer would like proof I've not even provided to the world of how very little damns he gives about women, children, Summer, or anyone else, I'd be happy to provide that in more pictures than I've provided for the world already. I would share with her. Recent calls between Munster and Little in videos where he absolutely continues to mentally and emotionally manipulate her and say he does not care about Summer and trying to mindfuck her into thinking things falsely before court dates. I will provide her with recorded burnings of advocates and others who witnessed his behaviors in courts with us, and any other proof she needs that he and his family are abusers and have been their whole lives to us that I have not provided to them. I will also provide her, if she asks, with proof of what Ryan, Prayer Garden, Jenny, Adrian, and so many others are up to in and around all of these cases, including Cotton's and everybody else's, how they're commingled in and all this. Well, maybe she knows firmly what these people are actually about. And it's not really by him. Is the mother of one daughter who still suffers greatly because of this monster who will carry the scars. No closure. Watching this man use all of these creators to target her, even those like voices behind them all and others. Annabelle, Smiley, Dinah, Sage, the rest. Put out cute little thumbnails insinuating she's murdered or kidnapped somewhere, though she was barely a teen at the time. Monsters used or other child here too, recordings of this, that, the other. All he's about is using these children one way or other, trying to get claws in, trying to cleanse self. But he was always really proud throughout all the decades from the first time he ever hit me when we were kids till now. Well, he always proudly proclaimed what he did. He abused thoroughly in public, physically, mentally, screaming, and otherwise. He loved it. He loved the attention he got, and the people who turned blind eyes to never be okay with it. Or he can script write his own little scripts and act his own little manipulative plays for it. He loved it. This is a man who beat me in crowds, packed stores, workplaces, on the roadways, anywhere. Suited him. Teen parties we went to as kids. Hundreds of us there. Young adults, I think. Until summers. I was never quiet about the abuses. Still nowhere to run or hide though, right? Whole damn community knew. People like his mom and dad helped it along, watched it, encouraged it, helped in it. And my children and I, we are so lucky every day that we're not dead. Though, as you can see, this room, him and Penny and Scott, Piper, and Jenny and Adrian, and, you know, because you remember the whole, oh, this can't get a woman and her daughter killed, we can't, but then they did. As his helpmate, him did all the things, and Ziggy and Fred, you know, his family member over here, and all them did. And as Marlene is doing now, yeah, it's brought through this, through that. They have knowingly tried to get my little one I killed here. And it may still yet happen. But y'all watch it as entertainment. I don't find it funny. And I will fight against it. And I will give whatever I have to keep my family, my children, and such safe. And that will be okay. But what I won't tolerate, it'll need help fighting against, is watching this monster, known and admitted, he's admitted you all, the world here, too, rather freely, that he abused these children, and I even told y'all he did worse than just splitting my face and everything, the bone of my lips, punctured by my teeth and everything. Did y'all need more? They laid hands on the kids, but made it a thing, it's okay, right? I do not want to see him looking for a young mother who is missing. And cashing in on her mother's pain and her little one's pain, or being such an asshole that he's going to use this to cleanse himself. Like he's been running around with Ryan pretending to give a shit about Summer. Now, this is a man I know beat the shit out of me because guess who was really looking for Summer? Oh, he slept. Get the cap and hold me. Blah, blah, blah. Summer's dead. Get over it. They've killed her over there. Blah, blah, blah. Get over it. But I ain't getting over it. All those nights I spent not knowing what predator was coming or going. Some stranger or unknown coming back into that road. Or whether it was C&D or somebody they knew, or that every night listening for Summer's voice. Call out anything. Watching the noise of the Tee game players and others. Every night. And this son of a bitch beat me over giving a damn. Using Summer vanishing to further traumatize his children. They were some of the last to hear or see any of the events throughout that day on video. So these tragedy pimps could try to wind closer to us to get information from us they did not and do not need still. And also silence us because we're speaking out about them and the crimes they've committed and how far down they have hunted us, tormented us, kept us boxed and trapped. But the amount of disgust I feel in my soul, and I know little Phyllis, and y'all have in and out of our room tonight. It seems like a million times since I'm making sure she's not having nightmares too. Father, she's sleeping. She's alright. But I'm using my voice for what I promised when I skipped over to this channel to hunt tragedy pimps and to be a voice for DV. And watching this continue, and watching this monster who attempted to murder women and children on the regular, bragged about it, loved it, every minute of it. You make no mistake. He's sorry for it. He loved it. And he loves this place because he makes money. I watch this motherfucker smile in my face and get hard-ons at beating me and my children. It ain't funny. But watching him pretend to look for, care about Layla sickens me to the very core my being in ways you cannot imagine. And that Ryan knows exactly who and what Andy is. Proof's been out here. And when Jenny and Adrian know them, it was getting a little obvious. Ryan became his main go-to guy. Only after really going and targeting me and the kids around Christmas by filming and viewing and doing this psychic bullshit around my brother and grandfather's graves, of course, and then getting his golden ticket to the 125 property that was further used to target the children and I with Monster. And to make it look somewhat honest, though, that property was a form and a way of abusing us further. And the way we were kept. And you all still can't even imagine that, I promise you. Did y'all think you were shown the real thing? Hell no, you were. But I can't, with all good consciousness, I can't allow that. I can't. Fonnie wants to go look at Sip's band that's just so wonky, it's unbelievable with Ryan for summer who he didn't give two whip stitches about at all. I could let that go the other day. This I cannot. This I could not. And I know that Jennifer may be unaware of it, but I and those around me do know some of her people and those around her situation. And some around us are best friends with certain people, and we're friends with her daughter. And I'm very wise throughout all this time, and I keep that very quiet, not public, because it's not for public consumption. And I want no intertwining or intermingling, and I do not want my monster situation to bleed over into another one. But this place would love that. I do not. There is no realm. And look, y'all have seen Andy sit over with Cher and taking cash apps on Michael Vaughn's name, who he knows nothing about, doesn't care about either. While you've stood here and watched it. It's not entertaining, and I want no crossover or mixover. But my heart, my soul, this does not sit well. No monster like this, of this caliber, should be out here pretending to search for a missing young mother who was last known to be in a very bad relationship, featuring other family members that weren't all that good and were related to that man as well. I cannot sit here knowing the role that domestic violence played in Summer's life. And how little Andy, her daughter, and the rest cared. They all seem to think stop is the daughter's favorite words. I don't find it funny that you even have Donna here speaking, talking about how they could hear minded the children's screams and cries from our hill to theirs. And the children and I could clearly hear the cries of them over there. Dad's being mean to Mom. Well, all of these monsters seem to think the word stop is actually go. There is no realm on earth where this should exist, and those still trying to survive monsters while being forced in ways to protect them against tragedy pimps, the same tragedy pimps that they're using to target people. Should watch these monsters look not only for the missing neighbors they don't care about, didn't and only use them vanishing as a way to further abuse, harm, target. Creators like Ryan know this. They've helped him do it. But start using other cases, other very real human beings like Layla, who are missing, who have little ones of their own missing them, and their mama's missing. This is sick. This is so twisted and sick. It's unreal. Now, y'all can watch him do whatever you'd like online with these teams and crews. Myself, I don't care. Be entertained. Call it Depp Hurt all you want, though you know better. You can't make an excuse, one, though, for why he abused our children. That way. And none of you are right, but you leave it outright. I can let him be out here every day. I can take it. I'm built to survive. It's one more day. But I cannot stomach watching him pretend to look for another missing woman, a young mother, when he would have made me one. Tried to. I remember waking up when I was pregnant with Little. I had gotten off work, crawled into bed, was asleep, very heavily pregnant. And I woke up not being able to get Aaron. But I couldn't, finally come to. Then, like the rest of the times, I've been asleep, so I didn't have a chance to get the last breath in or any of that. So it was a very much more near death thing that I woke up to. But I woke up to him strangling me. If he had managed to kill me, he would have killed Little then too. I remember bringing Little home from the hospital within a day or two with her in my arms, him beating me. Me trying my best to hug her down and protect her. And her cries were still so small, you could barely hear them. He didn't care. Wrong hit landed. He killed her. I remember protecting them both, hunkering down over him as he beat the shit out of me to keep me from hurting them. Whole lives lived like that. and worse. Worse events than those. Lived through his parents, watching it all, helping it all. They too abused physically, mentally, and emotionally my children. Fact, proof, and evidence of it. Court records to back it up. Knowing they abused Monster as well. Court records of it. There's proof of it. As they watched the extreme abuses of all of us and helped it. And the similarities between DV, all these cases. You remember that thumbnail Ryan had up a few months ago now? With Layla and Holly and everybody else's pictures and I'm wondering why there were so many missing or murdered women or children in East Tennessee. And I told you, well, it's because assholes like Ryan and such and others be like, oh, I can't imagine why. Domestic violence, still everybody's heard how these abusers use courts and those run them to cleanse and flip scripts and fuck with and further torment harm. Keep people safe. There's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. People like Ryan help that. Ryan has helped for a long time, along with Jenny and Adrian and the rest of these. They've helped less women ever find their voice and reach out enough to them. They've helped solidify in the minds of many why it is, as they've helped Monster further abuse these children through online means and otherwise. Whereas the Nanas and the Yennifers and all these stalkers combined, you did all the things, and they helped Monster do all the things. And stalk us, do this, the other for him, everybody else, giving him word on more. I mean, as he was here coming to property, still things, in touch, getting near family. It's reality. Yeah, about the bullshit. But Ryan, he's taught other women why they can't speak out. Solidified the thought of, oh, well, this is why. The world will laugh at us. They won't believe us. There won't be protection. Instead, there'll be Ryan finds fucking jack shit, but a new grift to try to find his way back to a new History Channel special. Ryan knows what it is. And lifting him up and following him around and cleansing. And you know, think about it. How many times you've seen Ryan cuss or do anything email line, but never chat him in. By God, he has something to say and he laughs at me. He does. I say, error, calls names. Got proof of it, right? A little out of character for that stand-up fella, ain't it? You really don't like me because some of us called him out. His old catch me if you can websites, his cutesy this, cutesy that. How none of his stories line up, match, how he's a liar, a con. Him and his wife both ain't looking for summer either. But the amount of people they've taught by helping Monster do what he's done and to make these cute videos to target like Monster loves around Christmas and holidays, birthdays, to put up videos featuring my pap and brother's graves. His Monster was looking for us and inquiring about our whereabouts, location, and travel plans to go see eldest. Trying to understand. Keep us what info he was not supposed to have because of orders protection. Ryan helped him put out videos, things with little psychic Seraphina poems and all this crap to target, make us look segways. They're my brother, grandfather's graves. Which, by the way, thanks to assholes like him and the Justins and their else are half time we can't even put anything on because people take them as trophies or destroy. no different than Pregard and Marlene and Fred at Cemetery Garbage and then making fun of the two little roses on the other family's grave. Yeah, I don't care about the dead, the missing, the murdered, the abused. But I do care a whole great deal about Summer. And I have indeed bled and had many a tear and more bruises over and for her at that monster's hands because I cared while he did not. He used her as a further form to continue to further traumatize the children and I, who happen to have the unfortunate or fortunate of being present on that road on June 15th when most were not, including him. He was at work. And I'm not sure that he's aware of people around him that connect to Layla too. God, I hope not. Or he'll use that too. But Ryan knows what Monster is. And then he dares have thumbnails about why there are so many murdered or missing women or children in East Tennessee. It's, well, because people like Ryan and most of these creators, well, they're in the world among you too. They turn blind eyes. Or they make it all as Budweiser beer. Or mutual combat. Or, well, gosh, he was good to me. Oh, well, that guy's so nice, though. Well, he only beat him and only tried to murder him and only beat children and only beat... Well. And not enough women and children reach out to him in courts don't take it serious enough time. Or at all. Might as well just wipe your ass. They pay work anyway. They ain't gonna count till you're dead. Then they might give a shit. You get protection, I guess, in a coffin. Not sure. But especially if tragedy pimps like Ryan and Jenny and Adrian and such help your monster in court settings flip scripts and fancy him up and do things like that. Keep you from real help from domestic violence places and centers, and attorneys and things like that are tampering with. The extreme things you've seen, like other family members of his and those connected with other players you see in Summers, false lawsuits, this, all these things. But I cannot sit back and abide this. This is sick. This is sick. There is no reason any man who has done what this one has done to women and children, and who, the thing is, look at all the drugs that are on these cases. He sat here all night on Ziggy's not long ago, reading off a litany of drugs him and Becca are on in their little camper in their yard with their children. That's okay, right? He buys dope every time he's on fucking line or hits the state line to do whatever. Summer's name, Michael's name, and now Layla's. Knowing the roll drugs and play noise, y'all cool with that though. Knowing that, just similarities and things, there he is. There is no reason someone like that, who just gave off a litany of substances he's on and using because that one he's with now is okay with that type of shit. Whereas I was not. school. He's out here and hired a football bat looking for Layla. Knowing he tried to make people vanish. Dad, including his own children and his partner of decades. Even they protected him, still have to protect him against the bullshit his own tragedy pimps are doing. This script, damn next door neighbors and all their little helpers like PG and Squall and everybody else sending all this shit from day one, and the Fred T. Hees and the Marlena's running from dope dealers right now, and shadow people and trees are up there. Like, I'm so tired. But I will not stand down, and I will not stay quiet, and I will not turn my eyes or ears away from, and I will speak out so that others can reach out. Hopefully somebody gives a shit, or courts, or whatever it happens, so they don't die. But I cannot stomach. Cannot stomach. Watched him search for Layla. It's bad enough watching him search for Summer and lead ride to these bullshit places that aren't even feasible to cash in. It's already bad enough. But I stay quiet all of a lot just so it don't make you bother script writing because he's an idiot. Still trying to protect this fucking monster from his own parents. I stay quiet a lot, but I shouldn't, and I don't want to. Because I promise he was speaking about TV and what he does, but I know how they keep convoluting and mixing it in and making it a thing. And hell, not even Marlene is over. Going, oh, he's a danger nerd. No, he ain't. It's garbage. Marlene's on the run from dope dealers and all kinds of other shit you can't even imagine right now. Did notice Justin canceled his live last night after they pushed views over there in his hair throughout all that. To load up that all I did, all the things, and her cash apping on other recent tragedies in Beach Creek that is disgusting. But I know what they're all doing in the background. I know what. Just one day, and I have to wait. And I'm having to curb my tongue a little bit on DP so that they can't further use my voice on it and outright Buster in order to continue their scripting, in order to protect that jackass from shit he's not responsible for. Because I'll always maintain you do not lay the wrong shit on the wrong people. You do not put stuff where it does not belong. And so it's made it harder and harder for me to speak. But on this, I won't stand down and I will not be quiet. Now, I want no crossovers, and I don't want him trying to murder the children and I are beating on us to cross over to Layla's. There ain't no need for that shit show to cross over. But that's what they're sort of hoping on, is what Jenny, Adrian, Ryan, the rest do. It's like they've convoluted Cottons into Summers, and you see how the beautiful recordings and proof of what I have and what they've been doing and tampering behind the scenes and screwing around with other families and all these other cases and lying and using them and to further fuck around in Summers and all the others. I haven't, or I wouldn't say it. I could show you what Prayer Garden and all them really do. Oh, I could play the Morlocks and Crawfords, all kinds of beautiful audio. What all their people are up to and all these creators. But Jenny and Adrian and Ryan are up to them, truly. But I'm trying to have heart, patience, and hope and faith in Ellie and Feds. Most of some of this network online and finding somewhere, bringing her home, and bringing justice for her. Tried so hard. Because I know the feds have got this. Tried so damn hard. I know law enforcement has a whole host and abundance of things that these tragedy pimps and others doubt they have, or that the locals know the fuck shit doubt they have. But my soul can't stay quiet here. I want no crossover, you make no mistake about that. I don't ever want to see these two overlapping. But this place does love a good intertwining, but I'm not gonna be part of that. You hear me? And I'll be damned if mother the children's domestic violence situation is gonna be used to create eyes of use for Ryan or these other tragedy pimps or to convolute Layla's case. There ain't no need in it, and I don't want it. But what I do want is this to stop being normalized and okay, and you all watching this man, this monster of women and children out here looking for a young missing mother whose mother misses her dearly and is looking for her. And I'm sure if you know Layla's story, then you could understand why this might be hitting a little sideways. And why some of the nightmares through the night were some of the worst I've had in a while. Just ask today that if Jennifer sees this, she can do as she likes, feel as she likes about these creators or searching for her daughter. But to please ask that they stop using a known and admitted and proven child and woman abuser to help look for her daughter. I'm begging. I'm begging. I'm just outright begging. There's one mother to another. This man looking for your little girl is trying to take both of mine. I have a son and a daughter. He's trying to take both of them in every way you can imagine. He's trying to kill them. He's like Hanson. And he still poses a danger and risk to them, especially as he's enacted certain things online. Dangers and risks that have shown up in docs here. If you would like proof of any of what I'm saying, I will be happy to provide it to you. I'm not histrionic. This is not a Depp Heard. I will provide you with whatever proof you need. And I do not want you to have to see or any of that or be dealing with any of this. You were dealing with enough with your own daughter missing and your grandbaby missing her mama. But from one mother to another. Please ask that no more of these tragedy pimps use this monster to help talk about or attempt to locate or search for your daughter for his dope money and further targeting and cleansing of who he is online to make him look like a hero and flip script on us any further. Love the 3-month long subscribe troll to help these creators. Love it. Splat, you have no right in this universe ever to speak to another survivor, fighter, or otherwise that way, or tell them when or where they should do anything. Do you understand me? Not ever in this lifetime do you have the right to do that. You are the reason women and children end up in body bags. Have a nice life. Do better. Be a better human. Subscribe to somebody else 3 months to troll. But I would ask that Jennifer asked that they stop using this monster to look for Layla. Or so that they can try to intertwine Summer and Layla's cases and make a mess even further out of Summer's or into Layla's, please. And they've already tried doing that. Fred's already tried to do it, sisters already tried to do it, and there are local stuff, right, Jennifer, but they're trying to intertwine. I don't want that. I want no mess or further hardship of law enforcement because of these tragedy pants, or especially if they're able to mingle these cases together online. I want Layla found and I want Summer found. No more tragedy events and no more monsters. But I hope she'll understand. And I hope the world understands. This doesn't sit right in my soul, in my heart, and I can't just abide. Anyway, I'm gonna fix myself some coffee. And I'm gonna wear one of my favorite articles of Stained Happiness, which is one of the first things I thought myself as I was hiding and running with the kids and I in a motel. Well, before the public ever knew us, but tragedy pimps were already hunting us. And I'm gonna try to calm down, get over or through the nightmares. Find a little bit of peace and happiness in my center again today, and I'll carry on. Jennifer season, which is this. I hope they find Layla soon for you and her little one. Wish the best for all of you. I hope justice comes. Have faith in law enforcement, feds, dear. I know it's hard. And I would definitely recommend you look into a whole lot of these creators and search teams and others that are on Layla's. They're not anything like they appear. But that is your choice and what your heart says and what you need and what you know you need. And if they can help bring attention or whatever you need, then I encourage you to do whatever you feel you do. And what's best for you and yours. I tell her thank you for her time, and I would wish her much love, peace, and happiness. And the same goes to all of you all this morning. This is a heavy and hard subject. I'm going to end it with please share the DV/Universal Hand Signal for Help. Canon does save lives from public settings for kidnappings, abductions, etc., to private home settings, to those in the middle of crimes occurring who can't make or calls or vocalize, or so they don't alert predators, perpetrators, but they can tap buttons and make the hand signal. To those who are having strokes, heart attacks, nonverbal issues, whatever, you know, um, the DV/Universal Hand Signal Canada does save lives. Please keep that in mind. It also can get help into hollows in enough time to where law enforcement can respond. Leave proof and evidence of monsters well. In time, hopefully. And as always, I ask that you please share Summer's picture, information, and caller by her name, and that you continue to share information only from law enforcement, local and surrounding agencies, state police, TBI, and FBI. Remember that she has the Q&A up with the feds, as well as some of the other cases across Tennessee. Please always make yourself aware of those and stick with those sources and reporters like Bobo's and Ansley's and WCYB, WJHL, Times News Online, Kingsport Times Press, Rogers Review, Bristol Herald, Johnson City Press, Hawkins News over here. It's Jeff Bobo's channel on YouTube. Um, these are the real sources of information. The ins, the bullhorns, and the fist pumping, and the talking head. Grace type of court that kick Justin's teeth in on the regular, but for fake stuff he's created, or it's all okay though. He buys non-slip grips, you know. Assuming he's gonna try that again when they finish raising enough cash for Marlena, by the way. I'll tell you they bought her a pair of non-slips too. Anyway, those are the real sources of information you want to share. Link them above the flyer, photo, name, and I say that in an open way because you should be doing the same for any and all cases you come across, whether it be Summers, Layla's, Holland's, uh, Sebastian's, and because I've mentioned them, please do the same for all of them. You know, and Jennifer's obviously got her own YouTube over there. Please keep uh, up with her for Layla and updates there. So, stick with real sources of information. Share those because that is the most tangible way to help Summer I know people won't believe it, but it's true. Because the right information at the right time, if you swap those articles or Q&As or whatever out, get at the right ears at the right eyes at the right time, and somebody can have the aha, and especially locally, can hold the key, and that be what the feds or law enforcement need to bring Summer home and justice. It can also, wildly enough, help out or capture the perpetrator or perpetrators responsible. Or maybe even they'll grow a heart and do the right thing all on their own. Walk up the right court steps, police department, you just never know. But information being shared can lead somebody around them to go, wait a minute, where were they June 15th? Or why is it they act a certain type of way every time I'm looking at Summers this or reading that or her picture appears? And they have that moment of, wait a minute, and they turn someone in. So that's how you help someone. Share her picture information, color burn it. Please continue to do so till she's brought home and justice is served. Okay? I would say thank you to Jennifer for our time and understanding here. And patience in her heart, and for also seeming like a fighter for her little one and her little one's little. May Layla be brought back to you and justice served. Jennifer. I'm sure Ellie and Feds are working. I'll continue to hold you in my heart. You have a good morning, good evening, and good night. Enjoy the SPAC, the vast cosmos. Be a good pebble, a spark, and a voice where you can. You can change the world. Much love.